Well, that finally puts a wrap on the Detroit Lions season, and what a season it was for the Detroit Lions to make it as far as they did, and how fun and how exciting it has been to watch them. Unfortunately, a gut-wrenching second half in yesterday's game, but nonetheless, it was the most entertaining season I've ever got to witness the Detroit Lions play. And kudos to Dan Campbell, Brad Holmes, and Sheila for the team that they built, for just the environment that they created there, and the truly changed culture that they brought to that team and that organization. Hats off to them. And with Michigan winning the national championship, it really looked like the stars were aligning for the Lions to make it to the Super Bowl. And you'll have so many people say, you should have did this, you should have did that. Dan Campbell stayed true to himself and gave this team such a drive and a chance to make it as far as they did. A couple failed executed plays. But guys, nothing to be ashamed of. Hang your head high and move forward with whatever direction that y'all go. Continue to push and continue to be who you are and who you guys have represented. It's been truly motivating and truly inspirational. It's nothing to be upset about. You guys were truly doing stuff that's never been done. Of course, you want to make it to the Super Bowl. Of course, that was what their goal was. And you know what? To make it as far as they did, it was amazing. It was amazing. One game away from the big game, but we just couldn't quite pull it together in the second half. And 49ers wanted it just as bad. It wasn't like they were just going to roll over, and they certainly didn't. So kudos to them, and awesome for Brock Purdy to give all glory to God at the end when he was giving his speech. Kudos to them, and that kind of made that blow a little bit softer, honestly, because that's just something you don't hear from Dan Campbell or from any of the players there. At least I haven't really heard a whole lot of that talk. So it was kind of a little bit of a softer blow hearing that come from Brock Purdy. And kudos to that Lions organization. And guys, keep moving forward. Again, whatever that looks like, keep moving forward. Don't give up. You come back next season and bring it all back together. But nonetheless, during the game, they did have a couple cool teasers drop. One teaser that came out was for Jake Gyllenhaal's Roadhouse remake, and I believe directed by Doug Liman. And they had a teaser come out. You could obviously look up the full trailer online. And I was very surprised with how this looks. Conor McGregor is in it. A few other people return from some other big franchises. And this looks really, really good. I know there's some kind of bad blood between the director and the studio, because it is being streamed directly to Amazon Prime. I believe March 21st is the release date. And he is pretty upset about that, because he was expecting a big box office release, and he's not going to get that. So it's unfortunate. But let me be honest, I probably wouldn't go and see that in the theaters. I'm at the point now where only certain theaters or movies I will go to see in the theaters. And those are the ones that are worth seeing, the big spectacles, the ones that are worth paying the ticket prices for it. And I mean, Roadhouse is a classic movie, but not one that I would particularly go and see in theaters. So am I upset about this? Not really. I'm actually going to be watching this day one when it comes out on stream. So that's something I probably couldn't say if it was going into theaters. The other teaser that was dropped was for Dune Part 2. And then you, of course, watch the final trailer they released fully online, and it looks fantastic. You get to see a little bit of Christopher Walken. Obviously, you see a couple flashes of Dave Bautista, Austin Butler, and more it started to remind me fragments of the original, but just done better, done bigger, and more, bringing more life and more death, if you will, to the world of Dune and Paul Atreides. Really excited. The trailers look fantastic. Really looking forward to seeing that movie when it comes out March 1st. The big movie last year that I watched the most, It released in a window from November to December was Rebel Moon, which was absolutely amazing, and super thrilled Zack Snyder got to release this, and really excited to see Rebel Moon Part 2 get released, I believe, April 19th, which again, we have a director's hard cut, hard rated R cut coming out, I believe, sometime in the summer. Rumors are calling it the drop around June, so be on the lookout for that. A lot of people kind of complained of maybe some choppiness from the original PG-13 Rebel Moon that has come out. And you have fans that have loved it. You've had Snyder fans love it. You've also had Snyder fans not really like it. And for me, knowing that there's going to be much more released in a director's cut, them knowing that this was part of the plan the whole time, this isn't some aftermarket effect, this was a kind of mandate set by Netflix, going all in with Zack Snyder, if you will, them suggesting that, hey, you're going to be able to release everything that you want, but what you release initially, let it be PG-13. And why not? Why did they do that? Well, because it's garnered so much more attention that way. You were able to get people with families who could watch this with kind of no consequence. And what a smart move that was. It created so much publicity. Bad publicity is still good publicity in general. A lot of people that aren't Zack Snyder fans, don't know who Zack Snyder is, really loved this movie. And that's the big takeaway. That was what Netflix's intention was. They were trying to get this movie in front of as many people as they could. It was number one in the first few weeks of its release around the world, which is huge, especially from a Netflix streaming movie. And obviously, the people that didn't quite like it, they will get a second round. Obviously, you have the sequel and then the hard R coming out shortly after that. But why not? I mean, it garnered so much attention. I know really a lot of friends from church. Shout out to Tim. He was able to watch Rebel Moon with enjoyment and be able to watch that with some of his family. I certainly enjoyed Rebel Moon that came out. I watched it multiple times. It seemed like every time I viewed it, I just enjoyed it more. And certainly with me knowing that there was a lot of stuff that was reserved and held back, it just makes me so much more excited. It almost felt like I was kind of just getting an introduction into this world and not necessarily a full-blown manifesto of what's to come. And I know with a kind of an extended cut, we get so much more on the character building, world building, and obviously a little bit more gore, because obviously you could see the scenes in the release, the cut that they released, where it was like there should have been some bone there should have been some blood there, and you know that's going to come. And it's so cool that Zack Snyder was able to make this movie in a way that can be enjoyed by families of multiple ages, again, without the consequence of having all of the gore and the factors of what that brings. So kudos to Zack Snyder and Netflix for doing that. What a proper way to do it, to just garner as much attention and to try to get it in front of as many viewers as possible. So credit to them. Really looking forward to the Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, which is coming to be released on April 19th. And then obviously with the two new trailers of Roadhouse, which is a remake, kind of with a new modern spin on it. Looks really good, looks really entertaining. And obviously Jake Gyllenhaal is just one of those actors where anything he's in, it's usually it's something different. He plays a different character and he always elevates whatever he's bringing to the table. So really excited for Roadhouse. And then with Dune Part 2, again, another movie that not everyone has watched, just because it's a certain genre film that I've tried to get people to watch it that just haven't. And then Rebel Moon to come in and be a movie where a lot of people who didn't watch Dune watched Rebel Moon. And that, I think, was kind of the objective there. So really excited for these three films coming out later this year, and looking forward to what movie news comes out. Stand by, stay tuned, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and hey, drop a couple comments on what you thought of Rebel Moon. If you're excited for Roadhouse, do you think it's just a cash grab, or does the story actually look intriguing, and would you be interested to see what it looks like on a modern day telling? And obviously with Dune, as well received as the first one was, how can you not be excited for Part 2? Really looking forward to the cast. That is a star-studded cast, and to see Christopher Walken play a kind of bigger than life role, which we haven't got to see him play in quite a long time. I know my brother mentioned something that we really haven't seen Christopher Walken in this kind of role in quite some time. So to see him playing the Emperor and kind of have this intensity that we haven't seen from him is certainly going to be exciting. So be on the lookout, stand by. We're never giving up on our Lions, and you know what? God bless, Godspeed, and we'll see you next time.